Hello. Okay, well, it's almost Christmas, and I was thinking about making a depressing video about being alone on the holidays and not having anybody care that you're alone on the holidays. And then I decided that I was going to make a different video altogether about recognizing your own goodness. You know, what you have in your heart. I don't attribute it to who you believe in or what you believe, and the whole, well, God invites you. It's not, it's an invitation. The whole thing about heaven and becoming to me that's the same as saying, well, to a car owner, well, you don't have to buy gas. We only invite you to buy gas. Because if you don't buy gas, there's going to be some dire circumstances. But it is your choice. I just think that isn't truly what goodness or being a good person is all about. And I've tried my whole life to be a good person, and I've decided that just that makes me a good person. The fact that I have sought after being good, I have wanted to be good, I have desired to be good. And people under what's the word, devalue it, and then you feel like well, at least I question my own heart because of, like for example, the guy that I fell in love with him, and I thought he was the greatest person, and all I wanted was to be. I told this friend, Brian, that I would be I'd be happy being a pen pal. I just thought he was such a great person. I wanted to be a friend to him somehow, and I would have been one of the guys for as long as I could have, because I loved being just a friend. I loved going to the football games with the guys, and just being in his company was wonderful for me. And then when he started being friends back, or at least I thought, and showing me basically acting like he wanted to be in my company, and like he enjoyed my company too, that was great. And it was like, I was probably at my happiest in my adult life, maybe since I was the early days of my marriage. But anyway, then it's all in my other videos, but he gets sick, and shortly after he tells me that he'll never reciprocate as far as feeling love for me, he gets sick. And my agenda, I didn't want to lose a friend. I had really wanted this man for a friend. I really liked him. I liked his company. I liked his stories. I liked the way he talked and the way he laughed and the way he treated me. And I liked him. I just, I finally thought that this man was my friend, and I didn't want to lose his friendship. And I cared for him. I cared for him very much, and I opened my home to him. I gave him everything I could give him, my support, my compassion, everything that I could think of to try to help him through a difficult time, I gave him. And I was accused afterwards of having an ulterior motive, because I wanted him to live. I didn't want to lose this friend that I finally had, and really valued that friendship, and didn't want to lose that friendship. And then it was turned around, and I was accused of having an ulterior motive. My feeling is the person who decided that whose brain thinks that way would naturally accuse me of having a brain that thinks that way. Maybe that person who accused me of having an ulterior motive, maybe that's his hardwiring in his brain. Maybe his idea of being kind and caring and compassionate to somebody circles around having some kind of requirement from them or need from them. So he's nice to them until he gets what he needs. And then, because that's kind of how I feel like this guy who lived with me was. I feel like he had an ulterior motive. And the whole you see your own faults in other people, more quickly. I think that he accused me of this because that's what he is. I know that I loved him very much. I always would have wished that he could have loved me back. I don't think it's wrong to care for somebody and hope that maybe they'll come to see the good in you and care a little bit about you too. In fact, I think that's only human. And that is the only ulterior motive I had. I gave my friendship. Everybody gives friendship hoping to have friendship. Everybody is a friend hoping to have a friend. You know, that's only human. And I feel like for a while I felt like that's the fact that I was there for this man for 2 years, and I believe there were 6 hospital stays, and one of them was a month long, and there was CCU and ICU, and who was there every day? Who sat by his side? Who brought him games and played games with him and even let him win some of those games so he would feel good? Who learned how to cook special foods, you know? I did it because I loved him. I did it because he mattered to me and I didn't want to lose a friend. And I did it because I wanted his life to be happy if in fact he was going to die. I wanted him to know that he was cared for and that somebody cared for him. Those were my motives. And it was thrown into doubt when I was accused of having an ulterior motive. You know, I've always had a low self-esteem, and so my whole world was kind of like thrown into doubt. Well, maybe these people are right. Maybe I really am a bad person. Maybe I did have some ulterior motive. Anyway, I don't believe that anymore. I don't believe that. I know what I had in my heart, and I know that, you know, my dad, when he was alive, he gave trees to various churches. He owned a nursery, and that's what he did for a living. He sold trees, and he donated trees to this. I don't know if it was more than one, but I know he donated trees to the Lutheran church that we went to, and I think there might have been a couple businesses he donated trees to, and those trees grew when I went back to Wisconsin. And you know, my dad died when I was 6, but when I went back to Wisconsin and saw those beautiful trees, and they basically created a fence between the church and the road, so you couldn't see the road when you were at the church, and it flanked the boundary of the church. They were these huge trees, and it was like, oh, my dad put those there. It was like the fruits of his labor. And this man that's walking around today, who doesn't give me the time of day and doesn't think I'm worth shit, he's walking around today. That's the fruits of my labor. That's the fruits of, yes, you know, it was like a lot of people really pitched in to help this man. But I was there every single day. Every single day. And yesterday, in fact, I had a reminder. Well, I'm just going through my list of things that I hold on to when I start to doubt my own worth or my own value, or the fact that I'm a good person in my heart. I had a friend I talked to on the phone yesterday who lives pretty far away from me, and her car broke down and she needed somebody to drive her to her car and then follow her home in her car, because they were going to tow the car if she didn't come and get the car. And it was pretty far away from me, and you know, I had plans yesterday, but you know, it was already past the time that they gave her to get the car out of where it was, and so I offered to drive out there. You know, it's probably 45-minute drive for me, and help her out, because she had asked several friends and she hadn't been able to find anybody. Well, she declined my help because she knew that I had plans. But you know, I think about it, and it's like I didn't really want to offer my help because I had plans, but she needed help, and you know, my heart prompted me to offer. And I think that a good person listens to their heart. A good person listens to their heart, even if it means that they have to give up something, maybe a little piece of their time, or maybe something they would rather do. I think a good person is somebody who, despite what they want or what they would prefer, they will listen to their heart and they act on it and speak up and make the offer. And that's what I did yesterday, and it reminded me again what I have in my heart. You know, it's like when I was a little kid and I heard my cat had caught a baby rabbit. I got accused of taking the rabbit from the cat, and ultimately it caused the rabbit to have this horrible death because of how my neighbors chose to put this rabbit down. But when I got the rabbit from the cat, my heart was in the right place. I wanted to help the rabbit. I didn't want it to die. I wanted to, it was in trouble. I didn't give it any thought. I wanted to just help this little rabbit. And I was accused of being a bad person for wanting to help an animal in distress. And I'm trying to think of another. One time my cat, I used to have, when I was a kid, my first cat had tags on his collar, and we had one of those heaters that was on the floor, and he got the tag hot, and I heard him freaking out, and he was just freaking out, and his collar was caught on one of those, it was a grate in the floor, and he was caught. And I grabbed him and tried to undo his collar, and he raked the hell out of my arms. Just raked my arms from elbow to wrist, both of my arms. I needed stitches in my left arm. I mean, it was really bad. And it's funny because I thought of it after I got him free. You know, I mean, I had to take the grate. I had to lift the grate out of the floor and put the cat in the grate on my bed to get that thing off, because he was struggling so hard, and he really damaged my arms, and it didn't hurt. The funniest part is the whole time it was happening, I completely blocked out what he was doing to my arms, and all I wanted to do was get my cat free from the grate because I was so afraid he was going to kill himself. Again, I wasn't thinking about me. I was thinking about helping another life that needed help, and I think it's what we have in our hearts that make us good, and I don't think that it takes having a certain religion to be a good person, or having a title, or being even being somebody who goes out and does a lot of really good works for to be a good person, to contribute their time. I mean, that does make them a good person, but my feeling is it's the desire to just do that. It's not even, okay, I'm going to do this because, I feel like I should do this. It's more like I want to. This is how I feel. I feel called to do this. I know I'm not making any sense here. I think it's just simply having the desire. A lot of people don't have the time, or they don't, for whatever reason, they can't. I would love to go and donate my time at Pause, or the Pound or something like that. I don't do it because it would tear me up inside too much. It would really rip my heart out. And I would probably have even more animals here at home than I do now, so I don't. But I wish I could, There's things that you'd like to do. I think if you're a good person, honestly, bottom line, you're a good person. And maybe if you're like me and you have low self-esteem, you feel like you have this stupid need to prove it to people, to get them to believe it too. And maybe if they believe it, you can believe it. But I think if you have the desire in you to be good, if you care about people enough to speak out when they need you, or just simply be there when they need you, and because you love them, I think if you look back at your life and you think about what you've done in your life, I think anybody can go back and look and see things in their lives that they can feel proud of and say, hey, I did that. That was really a nice thing that I did. I should feel good about myself. I should feel like I have worth. Look at that. I did that. I think everybody's got those things that they can look at. Anybody who's feeling worthless or feeling like, holidays are here and nobody cares, they should look back at their lives and, like I'm doing today, and just take stock of what they are, who they are. Doesn't matter if the world can't see it. Doesn't matter if you're the only one who can see what you have in your heart. If you truly, if that's what you've always wanted to be, is just a caring, loving, good person, I can bet you money that you are already. All those things that you want to be, you already are. And I completely realize that this video is making no sense at all. It's one of those mornings where I have a lot of stuff in my heart that I want to say, and I don't know how to get it out. So I'm just saying, hoping that somehow some meaning is gleaned from this, maybe for somebody. I guess you know what's in your heart more than anybody else. You know what's in your heart. And I think that what you have in your heart is what makes you special and worth it. And yeah, I know it's going to be really hard, another holiday. But you're here for you. And I guess all those times that you've tried to be there for other people or animals, or just, listening to your heart say, you should do something even if you don't want to do it. You should try to do a little of that for yourself during this holiday. Give yourself the kind of love that you want to give others, that you feel called to give or motivated in your heart to give. Give to yourself. Love yourself. If you're alone on Christmas or Christmas Eve, try not to think about what you don't have or who you wish you could be with. Think about what you deserve and what you love, and treat yourself to those things. Hot fire, cup of cocoa, your favorite movie, maybe listen to music, take a hot bath, maybe get a massage Christmas Eve day. Just be kind to yourself like you've been kind to others in your life. And try to show yourself the kind of caring and love that you have tried and hoped to show to others. I guess that's what I wanted to say, and it did turn out to be a sappy, sad holiday depression kind of video, but it's all about believing in yourself and recognizing for yourself what you have in your heart, and don't let anybody else tell you that you're something that you're not. If you do a kind thing for somebody because you love them and you hope to keep them around for a while because you finally get to have a little time with them, don't let anybody tell you that you did it because you're a bad person. Don't let anybody tell you why you do things. Even the thing with the bartender. Yeah, I was drunk when that happened, but at the same time, I felt badly for my friend because my friend felt neglected and unappreciated and sad. And I thought he needed me, and I believed in that this was a thing that I could do to help him. So my heart was in the right place, even if it was the worst imaginable thing I could have done as far as what it did to my life. So anyway, keep it straight in your own head, what you have in your heart, and don't listen to the rest of the world, and don't take the message that the holidays bring when you find yourself all alone. Don't take that to heart either. It doesn't reflect one bit as far as what you're worth. And you're worth a hell of a lot. And if these people that you love can't see it, the problem is in them, not with you. So anyway, long video, lots of stuff, and I don't even know if if it's even gonna make sense. But thank you for listening if you have, and if you've listened to my videos over the year, thank you for that, and for being there. It means a lot. Thanks, and Merry Christmas. Bye.